Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? We've had some time now to digest this draft, had some time to really think about what we did, think about what we didn't do, and now that we've all had that opportunity to really kind of mull over the way the last half week went, I think it's time to start looking towards the future a little bit with this crew of players because I want to set expectations properly for the upcoming Seattle Seahawks season. Because two things can be true at the same time. One, the Seahawks had a great draft. From where we sit right now, the Seahawks had a great draft. That could change in 3 years. We might know differently in 3 years, but as of this moment, we can safely conclude the Seahawks had a great draft. Most draft analysts are giving us great grades, and the ones that aren't are mostly doing so for no other reason than we didn't pick a quarterback. When, other than, I guess, Kenny Pickett, the entire NFL spoke on this quarterback class and said that they were garbage. They didn't put a vote of confidence behind a single quarterback in this draft except for Kenny Pickett. So why people are still on us for not drafting a quarterback, given the fact that guys who were supposed to be first-round picks ended up being third-round picks. Guys who were supposed to be third-round picks barely got drafted, and in some cases didn't get drafted at all. I don't know why people are still hung up on that. But again, the Seahawks, as of right now, with the information that we have available to us, had a great draft. However, just because that statement is true does not change this other statement that is also true. The Seattle Seahawks will probably not be very good in 2022. If you take a look at the layout of this team going into the season, just because they had a good draft does not mean they have drastically changed their trajectory for the immediate future. So, one, I think we as fans need to have the right expectations for this team this season and understand that this draft was not about 2022. And most drafts are not about the immediate returns, but this draft in particular, I think, is not about the immediate returns. It's about setting yourself up for success in 2 years, in 4 years, maybe even 6 years. This is a long-term proposition. When you look at this draft class, you see a lot of players that you really like, but I'm going to just say this right now. That doesn't mean I like them in 2022. And that's not to say they shouldn't play. That's not to say they shouldn't build experience, of course. But let's break this down. Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas are two tackles that I'm super excited to have on this team. But we know from experience, looking around the league, rookie offensive linemen, particularly tackles, are typically not great their first year. They have stuff to learn. They need to learn the tendencies of other pro pass rushers that they're going to be going up against. They need to get beat up a little bit before they can become good. Even the great ones got pushed around as rookies. So right away, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to tell you, Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas are going to make mistakes as rookies. They're going to blow plays. They're going to blow assignments. They're going to get beat. I don't expect either of those guys to be any better than league average this first year. So if you're expecting those guys to become locked down pass protectors and awesome run blockers right from game one, I don't think it's happening. It's not realistic. I can think of many future Hall of Fame offensive linemen over the years who needed to learn. So you're not getting big returns from those guys as rookies. Boy Mafe, hasn't played a lot of football in his life. This is not somebody who spent the last 10 years of his life working towards this moment. This is somebody who has a lot to learn when it comes to how to play the sport still. So you're drafting him based off potential, not based off what he actually did at Minnesota. If you look at Mafe at Minnesota, he had one significant season. He had like 7 sacks, and before then he was very, 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 very insignificant production. You are taking him based off what he can be. I don't think what he can be is what he will be coming out of the gate in 2022. I expect him to play some. I expect him to make the occasional play, but he's going to make mistakes. If he's even an average edge this year, I would honestly be impressed. But Boy Mafe, like Cross and Lucas, is about the long-term future, not what we're going to get in 2022. Tariq Woolen. I love Tariq Woolen, but are we really expecting Tariq Woolen to even play in 2022? I don't think so. If he plays at all, I will be impressed. This guy is very raw. He hasn't played cornerback for that long. He's got a lot to learn. Carroll is going to have to mold him over an extended period of time. If he doesn't play a single defensive snap in 2022, it won't surprise me and it won't upset me. Now, Kenneth Walker III, Kobe Bryant, and Tyreek Smith, I give those guys a chance to make rookie year contributions. I think those guys may be ready to go. Walker III, I mean, he's a running back. He carried a big load for the Michigan State Spartans in 2021, and he may very well hit the ground running and have a big rookie year. He may have 1,000 all-purpose yards. It kind of depends on what we do with Penny, whether or not Penny can stay healthy. But I do expect Walker to have a significant rookie year impact. But even in his case, I would say the best is going to be yet to come with him. Penny is on a 1-year deal. He's been beat up a lot in his career. Probably not here for the long term. Kenneth Walker III could easily be the primary running back in 2023, and that's when you'll see the big returns. Kobe Bryant played so much cornerback in college and has so much experience that I do expect him to play and maybe at some point this rookie year even start. So, yeah, Kobe Bryant, I do expect him to contribute as a rookie. I don't expect him to be at his best, but I do expect him to make contributions. And I think Tyreek Smith, you're going to see him rotating off the bench, probably playing less than 10 snaps a game. But I think you are going to see him play a part in this defense. So those guys, sure, okay. Those guys are going to get on the field. You're going to notice them. They're going to make their impact known before the end of 2022, probably. Bo Melton and Derek Young, I think that they will make contributions as rookies. I think they will add some value, but those are not guys I'm expecting big things from. Bo Melton, if he could catch like 20 passes in a year and do good on punt and kick returns, I think that's as much as I would ever expect from Bo Melton. Even though I do like him, I just don't see the massive volume. And Derek Young, I kind of expect to maybe get a couple touches a game, get used as a wide back. He'll probably see some burn as a rookie, but I don't think he's ever going to ascend beyond minimal usage in the NFL. And of course, the UDFAs we picked up, even the ones that I like, I'm not expecting big things from them in their rookie year or ever, really. So we might see a little bit from some of those guys, but it's not like they're going to blossom into every down players in 2023 or 2024. So the majority of our draft class, I'm going to say it right now, they are not guys who are going to play a lot and in 2022, or they are guys who are going to play a lot and they're going to learn on the job and make a lot of mistakes. And that's okay, is what I'm trying to get at here. Okay, you didn't get the quarterback of the future in this draft. You didn't. You've got Drew Lock. So at the end of the day, you're probably not going to have a great year anyway. May as well let these guys with potential learn on the job. If you take a look at the Seahawks roster right now, you can say that with this draft, we have, for the long term, addressed clear needs at tackle, both tackle spots, edge rusher, running back, cornerback, and wide receiver depth. And I'd even throw in safety depth because of all the UDFA safeties we brought in. Whatever we did differently in this draft, if we had gotten an inside linebacker, if we had gotten a center, we would have been leaving some of those currently patched areas unpatched to patch that other area. If we had taken a guy like Damone Clark instead of Tyreek Smith, maybe that's an area where I felt like we could have done a little bit better. But if we had chosen to address center in the first round with Linderbaum instead of Cross, then we would still have this hole at left tackle. We would have filled the hole at center, but then we would have been kind of left out in the cold for a year at left tackle. If we had decided to take Travis Jones instead of Kenneth Walker III, yeah, we would have been taking care of the defensive line hole, but we would have been leaving ourselves the running back hole. So at the end of the day, this team has a lot of holes. This team has a lot of problems. This team has a lot of things that they need to do. They decided to address a bunch of them in this draft, but they didn't address all of them because addressing all of them was not a realistic proposition. Going into next year's offseason, this team will likely still have holes at quarterback, interior offensive line. If things go well there, maybe only center, because you've got Haynes and you've got Damian Lewis long-term if they play well this year. Defensive line, because most of our defensive line players are either short-term solutions or not particularly good solutions. And inside linebacker. We're going to have 4 picks in the top 64 minimum. Even if we make the Super Bowl and so does Denver, we're going to have 4 picks in the top 64. But more realistically, we're going to have a really good first rounder, a really good second rounder, and then whatever Denver does. But whatever it is, it's going to be in the top 32 and the top 64. So we can address those holes next year. So whatever you're thinking about looking at this draft and going, oh, we still have this hole. We still have Cody Barton starting. We still don't have any long-term blue chippers on the defensive line. We have a one-year solution at center and really nothing behind him. Yes, that's all true. And that's all going to contribute to us not having a great team in 2022. I'm going to tell you right now, I expect to have a losing record. I expect a lot of these guys we're playing to make a lot of mistakes. But it'll be worth it. And bottom line is, this draft was about the future. All right, see you guys later. Go Hawks. Let me know what you guys think. That's how I'm looking at this. I'm excited to see these guys play, but I'm not anticipating they're going to play great right away. And I don't think anybody should. And I don't want to see anybody in my comments this upcoming season where these guys make a mistake and then you go, oh, well, there's a bust. Oh, what a disappointment. I can't believe we wasted a pick on this guy. That's not what this is about. So, hope you guys are ready for it. See you guys later.